You prayed, and this is what happened. So about a month ago, I went back to the farm where we filmed the original short film about the birth of Christ that launched this entire project, that humble little farm, those small little loaves and fishes that ended up growing into something huge. And I shared from my heart directly to you that I was in a tough spot. 2020 has, for The Chosen, for season 1 of The Chosen, has been extraordinary. It's grown to be an international success, and it's in every country and changed lives. But in terms of figuring out what we were going to be doing for season 2, it's been very difficult. Now, not as difficult as what some of you are going through, and obviously this year has been a massive challenge for the whole world, but that has created a problem for us in that we haven't been able to figure out where we were going to shoot, when we were going to shoot. So there were so many factors that were in our way, and we were looking all over the world. We were literally looking in other countries for places to shoot because we knew that season 2 builds on season 1, and it gets into new territory. So we can't go back to the original set that we used in season 1 because they've literally left Capernaum, as you know. And so we had to find a place that wouldn't be where we wouldn't be starting from scratch necessarily. And we knew that if we did have to start from scratch and did have to build our own place from nothing, that would be another 6 months of building, and we wouldn't be able to even start shooting until next year. And so we just didn't know what the future held. And so I spoke to you, and I talked to you about how I went to that farm to listen to the Lord, and I asked for prayer, and so many of you stepped up. And we were hearing from all over the world, people who wrote to us and to me personally, who were posting on social media. We were getting emails. I mean, we were flooded. And that video got well over 500,000 views and literally thousands and thousands of comments of support. And it made such a huge difference in my life personally. But here's the cool thing. The moment that video went out and the moment that you started praying, things started happening that were unexplainable. And there is a location here in Utah that we had wanted and thought would be amazing, but it didn't seem like it was possible. It's this unbelievable recreation of Jerusalem that is an extraordinary set, but it hasn't been used by outsiders. And it's because of the COVID situation, because of the timing, it just didn't seem like it was going to work out. And getting the permissions was going to be challenging because there's so many different people involved. And we finally, shortly around the time before that I did that video, we had heard that we weren't going to be able to film here because of COVID, because of there were just too many factors, and that maybe we could do it in the future, but this wasn't going to work out for this year. And that's when I went to the farm, and I just said, I don't know what the future holds. And I am so moved and excited to tell you that after that time, so many open windows opened, and no's became yeses, and people started feeling led just out of the blue. They would wake up in the morning and feel led by God to talk about the show with other people, and that's the word started to spread, and we started looking for ways to solve these problems. And now we are finally able to shoot here. And we now have a location, and that's why we were able to announce that we are greenlit for season 2, because we are going to be filming in Goshen, Utah, probably the most extraordinary set I've ever seen in my life. What we are going to be able to accomplish with this set, and because of some of the opportunities that have opened up for us, is going to be life-altering. We are going to be able to tell the stories of Jesus and his followers in a way that elevates even what we were able to do previously. And the story deserves the best, and this is the best. There is not another set like this in the entire world. And I will tell you some other time the story of how all this came together and the history of this incredible place, how this place has been prayed over and how this place has been built, and now we have an opportunity to make use of it. And it rocked us all, but now because of it, we get a chance to shoot this year and get season 2 out to you even faster. So if you'll remember, when I was on the farm, I gave you the lyrics to that song. And it was a song that spoke to me in that time, and it was called Faithful Now. And because I didn't know the future and I didn't know where my faith was grounded at the time, other than just prayer, it was challenging. But that song spoke to me, and that video was a positive video. It was a joyous video because the lyrics say, "I am holding on to faith because I know you'll make a way, and I don't always understand, and I don't always get to see, but I will believe it. I will believe it because you make mountains move, you make giants fall, you use songs of praise to shake prison walls, and I will speak to my fear, and I will preach to my doubt that you've been faithful then and you'll be faithful now. And I also talked about in the book of Joshua, where Joshua leaves these 12 stones behind so that when people would see them in the future and say, what do these stones mean? That the answer would be that it was an example of how God was faithful. And that farm proved to be an example of how God had been faithful. And so I knew that he would be faithful again. And he has been. Your prayers and your support and God's provision allowed us to get this place in such an amazing and miraculous way. And now this place is going to be 12 stones. This place is going to be an example for when people see a place like this, or when they see season 2 and potentially future seasons in the future, we'll be able to point to how God was so faithful. And you had a big hand in that. You prayed, and this is what happened. Thank you.